There are numerous ways to submit a work order in Maxpanda. If the submitter has an account, they can simply log in and click the Add Work Order button in the upper right-hand corner, the Submit Work Order button along the top, or the Submit Work Order button in the main menu. If they have downloaded the GoMax mobile app, they can open it up on their smartphone and tablet and click the Submit Work Order button. Or if they don't have an account, they can submit a work order using Maxpanda's guest portal. The guest portal is located under Sites, Guest Services. This allows people without a Maxpanda account to submit work orders through either the link provided or by scanning the QR code. Simply provide them access to this QR code either on a web page or download and print it off, or provide them with the direct link. They follow that and it takes them to this work order submission page. Here they can submit a work order. Submitting a work order is easy. First, they simply add a title of what the issue is. Choose a category. This is a customizable list that you create. Choose a priority, also a customizable list that you create. Add CC so they can add their email address if they want to be kept up to date on the status of the work order. Add any notes they might have, anything else they want to add that there's no field for, and then choose the building, location, or asset where the work needs to be done. If they just choose location, it will list all the locations available within your site. By choosing asset, it'll list all the assets. If they first choose a building, it will help filter the locations to only those within that building and only the assets within that building. You can go a step further, and if you choose a location, the assets get filtered down even further to only the assets in that location in that building. The other option is if you start typing, it will automatically filter the list. Finally, they can upload a file, whether it be a photo, Word document, PDF file, and click Submit. All the information they add here can be changed by you when you are approving the work order. As well, many of these fields are customizable by you. You choose whether you want to include the locations and assets, or if you want to make the email address required, or if you want them to be able to upload files. So I can make my changes, click Save, and the guest portal work order submission page automatically changes. This is good, for example, if you do not want your guests to see all the locations and assets available within your site, or if you don't want them to be able to upload files. Going back to the customization page, I can add these back in at any time. Save it, and the guest portal changes once again. So now I'm going to submit the work order. So fill out my information, and click Submit. I get a message telling me my work order has been successfully created. Submitting a work order when you have an account with Maxpanda is very similar. You simply log in, click one of the Submit Work Order buttons, and you can see the form is very similar to the guest portal. I still have title, category, priority, short description, notes, CC. I still choose my location and assets and can upload files. When a work order is submitted, all admins and editors in that site will receive an email notification letting them know. This includes company admins and company editors, as well as site admins and site editors. Once I receive that email, I can either click the link directly in the email and it'll take me directly to the work order, or I can log in and I can see that the new work order is at the top of my list in a pending status. To edit and assign it, all I do is click the blue Edit button. Here I can see all the information that the submitter has added. I can now make changes. For example, if I want to adjust the title, add a reference ID. Reference ID is just for your own records if there's a certain way you want to track work orders. I can change the category. I can change the priority. So we have urgent here, but I think light not working is more of a medium issue. Add a short description, read their notes, add my own private notes. This can only be seen by staff, admins, and editors. Add any comments, add my own CC, and assign a due date. All day task means it is due at midnight on the due date. The default is 7 days. I can change that right down to the minute. So if I uncheck all day task, I can now assign it right to an hour. So if I want it done at 7 o'clock next on Wednesday, for example, I can change that. Okay, I can see who created the work order, as well as upload any files I myself might have, such as maybe a user manual, see where the work is to be done. I can assign any vendors I have, so if I need to call in a plumber or an electrician, for example, I can choose them from the list, and they will receive a work order notification. I could assign a task if I wanted, but I'll cover the tasks in more detail later. To add a task list, I would simply choose it from the list, and it'll be automatically added to it. I can add multiple tasks. Assign any parts that they might need. So this is a light bulb issue. I know they might need a light bulb, so I can add that. And this will actually tell me the current on-hand quantity. I'd want to assign staff to this, so I can assign multiple staff at once. Because I'm an admin, I can see the rate of pay right here. If I was an editor, I would not see this. This is where I can add an invoice, but I probably wouldn't have one at this point as I'm still just approving the work order. And I could view any attachments. Once I'm satisfied that the work order has been filled out correctly, I would want to approve this. I also have the option to reject it, so if I get duplicates or if it's something I don't think that needs to be done, I would want to hit reject. But I'm going to approve this work order. Once I approve the work order, you can see that the status has changed to approved in my list. As well, email notifications will go out to any staff or vendors I assign to the work order. Plus, if they have downloaded the GoMax mobile app, they'll receive push notifications right on their smartphone or tablet, letting them know a new work order has been assigned to them. I've now switched to a staff role so you can see what it looks like to receive a work order. As a staff, I either received the email letting me know I had a new work order, or if I have the mobile app, I received the push notification. I could click directly on those notifications or email to go directly to the work order, or I can log in. Once I log in, I can see that the new work order is at the top of my to-do list. I'd want to click Edit to open that up and see what the new work requires. So I read over the work order and see all the things that have been added up till now. Read up on what I need to do, and then go off and actually fix the issue. Once done, I'd want to come back and update the work order with all the new information. So for example, I could add my own notes, private notes, or comments. I could upload new files, such as taking a picture of the completed work. If a task list is assigned, I would need to complete the task list before I can complete the work order. That includes setting the status to completed and completing all the tasks that are required. I'll be covering the tasks in more detail later. Save changes. I would want to indicate any parts I use. This will automatically change my on-hand count when the work order is closed. And I'd want to put in how many hours I spent on the job, as well as anyone else who helped me. Once I have finished filling out the work order and updating it, I want to click Complete Work Order to show that I have finished the job. I could add a note if I want. I'm not going to at this point, but I could say why it's completed or how I completed it. Once completed, the work order will disappear off my to-do list. Switching back to the admin or editor role, when I log in again, I can see that the work order is now in the completed state. As an admin or editor, I'd want to open that up one more time just to look it over and make sure everything has been filled out correctly and that the work has been completed. So I can look things over, add my own notes, check that they have filled in their hours as well as parts consumed. If I had hired a vendor or contractor or had to go get new materials, this is where I'd want to add my invoice in before I close off the work order. So I would pre-create this in the Invoices tab, but I'll be showing you how to do that later. At this stage, I just want to find it in my list and add it. Once I'm satisfied that the work order form has been filled out correctly and everything has been added, I would want to close the work order. Once again, I can add a note if I want. Here you can see that the work order is now in the closed state. If I open that up again, no changes can be made. You can see here that everything has been grayed out. If I forgot to attach an invoice, for example, I do have the option to reopen a work order and then add whatever I missed and close it again. Every time the status of the work order changes, it keeps track. It'll date timestamp that for you so you can see exactly when changes were made. If the work order had not been completed by the due date, it would have switched to the overdue status. At this point, email notifications as well as push notifications would have gone out to any vendors and staff assigned to the work order, as well as the editors and admins for this site. There is one more thing I would like to add. The original submitter of the work order will receive email updates whenever the status of the work order changes. So that's when the work order is first approved, when it is completed, and when it is closed. That's everything there is to submitting a work order within Maxpanda.